Okay, and there's Bliss. All right. So what we're going to do is, as soon as Bliss Anna's here, what we're going to do now is just to go over some very important points about the program. And at the end, we will be able to, we'll have a time for some questions and so on. This is going to be a bit kind of prescriptive in the sense that I'm just going to be telling you stuff which is really important for you to know. All right. I understand, of course, if anybody has to go, it will be published later on. There's Lindsay coming in. It will be published later on. It'll be posted on internet a little bit later. Okay. So thank you very much for coming. That's a really good turnout. So really, really impressive. Okay, excellent, excellent. Okay, so the first thing is obviously we're going to look at the program itself, and the program itself is, well, we've been speaking about this. So today's actually going to be one of the shorter sessions, I think, and we'll try and keep it to about 1 hour. All right, so you don't have to, so you don't get bored, and we're not just repeating stuff. But I think tomorrow and Wednesday, tomorrow and Thursday, is some really important stuff about families, some really important stuff about schools as well. Okay, we're working on the whole concept of what a volunteer does, and obviously that's something which greatly concerns you because that's going to give you kind of form and shape to what you're doing. Okay, but within that, we need to start thinking about what's the structure of the program. What's the program offering you? What's the program offering other people? Got to tell you something. The first thing I've got to tell you is, I mean, it's like 2 years after the whole COVID mess cleared up and we started inviting people back onto the volunteer program. So we're up and running. You know, we're not quite at 100% of capacity. We're doing about 70% of capacity. And hopefully this time next year, we're right up there. Okay, one of the great things is that the people who came last year from Australia, New Zealand, Germany, UK, have been absolutely fantastic volunteers and have.
Hey Josh, I think you're on mute.
Have we lost Josh?
Yeah, I think we have.
Did Josh?
Oh, I thought I crashed for a second. Thank God.
Me too. I did like a
Honestly,
double
so
take.
did I. I was like, where's Josh going?
Oh my.
Can you
Josh,
hear me?
no, we ask a lot
Oh,
of
there
questions.
he is.
You got me back.
Yes.
Yep, we can hear you now.
Okay, excellent. So the most important thing I was saying was that actually, the last intake of volunteers have been fantastic. The ones who came last January, they built a great reputation for the program. The people who came in September have also built a great reputation for the program. There's no difference really, apart from these people and the people we had 7 years ago. Just that people are coming and they're more informed. Okay, but it's the same absolutely fantastic positive spirit. So once you meet those people, probably in January, if not definitely at the beginning, sometime in February, you're going to have an absolutely fantastic time. They're going to be able to share a lot of their insights with you. Okay, but these are really important things for us to know. And the first one is this is your job. Okay, whilst you're here as a volunteer, this is your number one priority. Okay, this is like, imagine you've got to work in a supermarket, and you've got to work in a lawyer's office, you've got to work in the military, it doesn't matter. This is your job. This is what you do. And this, for the next few months, is what is going to define you as a person in relation to the schools, the family, and other people around you. This is very important, okay? So this is not something, it's not a side hustle. right? This is your main occupation, please. All right. So I don't want, nobody wants you to turn up here and say, "Oh, well, I was really here to learn Spanish and, being a volunteer just sort of fitted in. I just wanted to visit Spain and do some tourism, and I thought this would be a good way of hanging out." That's not the way they want it. Okay. That's not the way. That will not give you a fulfilling experience. Okay. So this is it. This is your job, which means that you have to fit into the timetable. You have to accept the responsibilities. You have to give if you want to receive. Okay. And you have to be quite conscientious about this as well. You have to be conscientious. Okay? For some of you, I know you've held down jobs, and I really, really admire you for this. Spanish people at the age of 17, 18 would never have worked in anything ever. So it's really admirable that you guys are coming in. And obviously, if you've had more experience because you're a little bit older, not 17, 18, then you're well used to it. And I know you're going to come with a great, absolutely fantastic attitude. Okay. Now, our mission, we have to talk about our organization, which is New Ventures Worldwide. We're quite strict. Okay, we have to be strict because we are registered as a non-for-profit community interest company in the UK. That means we can't make any profit. That means any profit which is made from the organization has to be put into programs which maybe need more funding, like our program in Argentina or our program in Ghana, in Africa. Okay, so we have to keep to this, and that is that we allow young people of all nationalities to experience a different culture while benefiting from personal growth, gaining life skills, and making a positive impact. I look around at volunteers and personal growth, tick. Amazing the way that people grow. Okay, amazing the way that you are going to change as a personality, as a person. Gaining invaluable life skills, tick. Okay, you're going to be managing your time, managing your money, managing your space and your relationships like you've never done it before. Okay, and making a positive impact. Yep, tick. Absolutely, yes. And that is then up to you how you're going to make that positive impact. And of course, you're going to improve your local language skills. You're going to improve your Spanish. Okay. So what is New Ventures Worldwide? UK non-for-profit global team across 10 countries. It's a very small team, I'm going to tell you, very small team. But we get together. We are not friends, but we enjoy our work. We have passion for what we do. Right? Combined experience of over 50 years, I would say more. New Ventures Worldwide succeeds another organization which was called Latitude, which had been going for 45 years when it closed down due to COVID, right? And then we took over, basically. So that's 52 years of experience of doing this. And we've supported, I think that number's going up every time we're here. So it's something like 770 happy volunteers. Okay. And we are people who really enjoy and are really passionate about promoting volunteering. That's what we do. We do not do it to make any money. All right. I think all of us could, we have other jobs which we work at to earn a living. Okay. So what is in it for you? What are you going to get as part of the package? You're going to get a dedicated staff member, and that's me. Okay. So you will be sending me WhatsApp and giving me calls and sending me documents and so on. I've also got I've got two helpers. One is called Laura. So you might get, she works for the agency, which I also work for from time to time. So she will be asking for documents from you. And the other person is called Kudzi. Kudzi is an ex-volunteer who lives here in Spain, and he will be helping out as the year goes on. He will be available for advice, very practical advice. You want to buy a train ticket, you know, other stuff. Okay. You will be getting a fully vetted placement and appropriate role. So your appropriate role is as a classroom assistant. That means an assistant teacher. So you're teaching, you're not, not in the sense of a classroom teacher, the classroom assistant who's like clearing up, vomit or moving chairs. No, you're going to be on the teaching role. Okay. That is going to be your role, the teaching. And it's fully vetted. That means that we have been to the school. I've been to the school. I know the school. I know the people, okay, that are involved with you. We've looked at risk assessment. They're all fully licensed and government guaranteed organizations. Okay, some of them might be public, some of them might be private, some are semi-public. Okay, private in the sense of they're, schools which they're fee-paying schools, but all subject to government rules. That's important as regards safety, risk assessment, health, and so on, health and hygiene. Okay, you're going to be getting accommodation and your meals and Wi-Fi, of course. You don't have to pay for anything. If you did have to pay for anything, family turns up and says, well, here's your weekly shopping bill. You let me know. It's never happened, okay? Never happened. Okay. You're going to get full preparation and guidance, which is what we're doing now. Background support while on placement. Okay. I won't be coming to see you every day. I will be sending you text messages every week. I will be coming to see you once a term or once during your visit. I will be in contact with your tutors, and hopefully once a month, once every 6 weeks, we will have the chance to get together. Okay. Physically, I'm asking Kudzi to take care of that, to organize, a trip to Valencia for everybody, a trip to the north, maybe to Bilbao, so you can all get together up there and do stuff together. All right. So it's great if you're coming with friends and you've got people you can travel with immediately. But during orientation in Madrid, you'll meet everybody else and you can make your own plans. But please, if Kudzi proposes something, sign up. I'd say sign up and do it. I don't think you want to spend a weekend with me, but definitely he's a nice guy. He'll do some fun stuff. Okay, visas, flights, travel insurance are at a separate cost. As you well know. Okay, all right. I'm not going to go into this right now, but I do want you to start thinking about something. I want you to start thinking about something conceptual, okay, abstract. And that is a way, we've got like 5 weeks before you come, okay, 4.5 weeks before you come. I need you to start thinking and visualizing. What are you going to do, with your last few days? What are the things which you need to be wary of? What are the things you need to think about, right? Where does this experience fit into your life? So I want you to think about, how you're going to spend your last day at home or your last few days. I want you, please, after class, to make a list. Make a list of things you want to do, people you need to see. What's the message you're going to be leaving them? And what's the impact of you leaving? Right? And I want you to be very positive about this. I need you to think positively and to tell your friends and your family that you're going to do something which is really positive, okay? That you're coming here to learn the language, personal development, to make a positive impact, to learn life skills, and to be very conscious. And that's the message I want you to leave your friends and family, please. Okay? So that they're conscious of why you're coming. Okay? So start thinking now about what you're going to do for your last day or last few days at home. All right? Also, think about what are the things that you're bringing with you from home. Do you think about physical things? Think for a moment. I think we're quite lucky now. You're not thinking about bringing my, my teddy bear and my favorite hoodie and, the sort of statue which my brother gave me when he won a football tournament or something. We're not necessarily thinking about things like that, but we're thinking about, more things in your head. All right. What are the things? What are the memories? The memories you're going to bring from home, which help give you a sense of who you are. And in the difficult times when you might feel nobody understands me because I'm the only person here who doesn't speak Spanish, think about what you're bringing from home. Think about your heritage, your culture, your family. You're bringing them with you, okay? Make sure they are present with you in your mind, right? These are things which will help, which will strengthen you. Think about where will you be 5 years from now? Hopefully you might be finishing university or getting on with your career. Think about how this experience is going to shape that moment of your life. You're definitely going to be a different person, but what is it you're going to be doing 5 years from now? And how will this experience fit in with that? And finally, what makes you scared? Okay? Think about this beforehand. Face up. So what makes me scared? And come prepared when we have our orientation in Madrid to discuss this. Okay? This is something which vocalizing fears diminishes fears, because you'll find that those fears are often shared with other people. Okay? So you want to be really, really conscious. It's about what we call becoming more aware, or some people call it woke. Okay? Becoming aware of yourself and your own feelings and how those feelings work. A lot of it is. So we're talking about coming and being prepared. Okay? And these are the things you need for success. And we've identified 6 things. There might be a lot more. But the things we're thinking about is you and your identity, family, your language, your community, where you live. Okay? This is your anchor. This is an anchor in a good way, because these are the things, these are the concepts you can delve into in your mind, and good memories which hold you in place, even in the difficult moments. Be very aware of that, please. We go down also then, your skills, sports, arts, crafts, cooking, baking, music, dance. These things which you can bring with you, apart from your language, of course, these things which will help you, which can be shared with other people, skills which can be transferred to young people and children around you. Yeah, I know, I've seen, I've heard from you about a lot of these skills. Your future. When things are difficult here, think about your future, how this is going to help you. Everybody has difficulties. Everybody has difficulties here. Okay? Some come to the surface and some don't. First difficulty is you want to know how to get from Valencia to Malaga. You heard that Malaga is this rocking city down in the south of Spain. How do you get there? That's your first problem. You don't know. You have to start looking and checking and asking and booking and paying for tickets and stuff. Okay? That's a little problem. And you know there's a solution. So if there's a solution to that, there's a solution to everything else. Okay? So think about your future. Okay, how will now shape tomorrow? You are writing the story of your life. This is amazing. You are writing you're writing your own autobiography now. Because you know what's going to happen, or at least you know that this is a starting point to the future. A massive experience for you. Okay? You can write out the different outcomes, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. What would you like to do? Where would you like to be? Okay, fourth thing, your strength, your resilience, resistance, adaptation, social skills. One of the most difficult situations you will have when you're here is exactly that. You might be amongst a lot of people and they're all speaking Spanish and you feel that you're the only person who doesn't understand the joke when everybody's laughing. It can be difficult. It can be upsetting because you think, well, maybe they're laughing at me. Your social skills, a big smile, laugh. Just say hello, say yes, whatever it is, okay? And just think nobody's laughing at you. People don't generally laugh at other people. You know, they laugh with people because they're happy and they're happy that you're with them. That's an overriding thing. Especially in Spain, people are very, very happy to have you with them, to have you amongst them, okay? Another hack for success, another very positive thing, your curiosity. You are on a constant learning journey whilst you're here. Every day, for the first 6, 7 weeks, you're going to be learning something new and beyond, even if it's just new words, but all about customs and timetables and personal relationships. New country, new friends, a home from home. You will make friends, even the shyest, most retiring type makes friends in our program, okay? Because people will come and seek you out to make friends. It's wonderful. It is absolutely wonderful. And your new skills, which are going to be about managing your time, your space, making decisions, making choices, okay? About going to bed, about getting up, about going out, about coming home, about not coming home, all right? Those are your choices. You've got to make some difficult decisions now. Okay? And those are things to keep in mind. We'll talk about those more in Madrid. Okay? Okay. We're really conscious about safety. So all those things, you're going to be making new choices and meeting new people. But you know, behind everything is the concept of keeping safe. All right. So once our system is once you have been selected and matched with a placement, we then just make sure that Spain is, at a time there's no risk. We have had some floods in Valencia. There's some bad weather in the north of Spain now. The bad weather, we don't think it's life-threatening. I just came from there a couple of days ago. It was fine. It was snowing. The roads were open. You don't travel if you don't have to travel. That's fair enough. But that only happens once or twice a year. We don't have things like power cuts or, floods, except once in a lifetime occurrences like down here in Valencia. So we're making risk assessments and we are reassessing right now the schools in Valencia to make sure that they are safe places to be. So far, all the placements we've got are safe places. None of them have been affected. 2 schools where people were going to be placed have now been removed for a few months anyway, and we'll be seeing if they are in good conditions to come back onto the program in the future. None of you are affected, okay? We're going to tell you about the risks, about challenges, about the placements, okay? And then when you arrive in the country, we will make sure that you get to the placement and that somebody is there to pick you up and show you to the accommodation and give you a timetable. And from that moment on, we are in contact I am in contact almost constantly with the placement. That means with the school administrator and also with the immediate tutor, whoever it is who's with you. Now, your responsibilities are one, to abide by the volunteer code of conduct. Did you all read? Have you seen the code of conduct? Have you seen?
Yes.
Yeah, Josh, I have.
Yep. Have a look, please. Have a look. All right. Because it does say things quite explicitly. It was on the terms and conditions. I'll be issuing a more abridged version for you to sign when you get to Madrid, which is mainly at the moment about, abiding by the rules of the host placement. In a legal sense, I think, just not doing anything which is illegal, okay? And then obviously protecting underage students. That's very important for us, okay? And that tends to include things like not sharing personal details with the students, not letting them into your social media accounts and so on. Obviously not smoking at school, that's a pretty obvious one, isn't it? There we go. So responsibilities, have realistic expectation, okay? It is your job. Jobs, you don't always look forward to going to work. But, sometimes you have to put a brave face on it and go. Okay. Be willing to make a difference to others, all right? Be willing to make a difference to others, all right? When you're having a difficult time, the first thing I will say is look around, look at the people around you, look at the kids, and look at the difference you're making to their lives. Okay? Treat others with respect and courtesy at all times. Okay? This is a great thing. This is a life skill. I'm sure you do. Absolutely sure you do. But, there's no point in arguing about stuff if you're not right, if you're not in an absolute advantage also of that situation where you would like to argue, and make your point. Okay? We will back you up if you're right. And if not, I will intervene, and I will try to diminish any sense of discomfort which you might have. And I'm just talking about, if let's imagine you were put into a classroom with some unruly students, okay? You can't come to the point that I'm not going in there. But, come to me, I will talk to the school, I will tell them your feelings to back you up, and I'll make sure you're not in a situation which is unpleasant to you. Be open to learning rather than imposing your own views, values, and culture. Well, you don't impose your culture, views, and values, but share them for sure. Specifically, if you're going to one of the religious schools, okay, accept. You'll see that a lot of the religious practices are actually quite kind of quaint, and you go, well, that's quite funny. One of the things which kids do in Spain is they have their communion when they're 7 or 8. I mean, you might agree or not agree with it. I have my opinion, but they get dressed up and it's like a wedding, and you're going, what the dickens is this? What's going on here? This child sitting here like, I don't know, dressed up with 200 guests and like presents and a huge cake and a banquet. It's just absolutely incredible. Anyway, so it's probably not, if you think it's all a bit overdone, like I do, you could say it afterwards to somebody outside of that family. You probably wouldn't want to say it in the family, would you? Okay. Escalate any issues and concerns swiftly and appropriately. Yeah, absolutely. Escalate. That means bring them upstairs. Tell your tutor, tell the family, tell other volunteers, tell me. A problem shared is a problem halved. Okay. A problem shared is a problem halved. Believe me. Okay. So share any issues, any problems. So when we talk about something very important, we're going to move on. Okay, we're going to move on, and I'll just share something with you in a minute about problem solving and challenges. Okay. Now, the host responsibilities are to agree realistic duties with you. Right? So it's not like, here we go, we've got intermediate level secondary school class, they're 15, 16, off you go. Oh, you haven't had any formal teacher training. Oh, we didn't know that. Nobody told us that. Right. Well, yeah, they all know you don't have formal teacher training, except those people who do. So those must be realistic duties. We'll talk more about that tomorrow, what happens at school. They must provide support. And in all the schools, if you're going to Highlands, it's going to be Patricia. If you're going to Everest, it's going to be Liam. If you're going to Alvaraya, it's going to be Pedro. If you're going to Cumbres, it's going to be Mar. If you're going down to Tavernes, then it's going to be Emilia. We know exactly who these people are. Okay, so you rest assured, those are the people, that is your mentor. They have to deliver an appropriate placement induction, which is normally very informal, as in, this is Miguel, he's an English teacher, this is the staff room, here's your timetable, all right? Very often, your placement induction is very, very brief. Right? They have to provide accommodation. If they can't provide accommodation, then basically it's up to you whether you want to stay at that placement or not. Right? We would rather transfer you to somewhere which does have accommodation for you. They also have to report progress to us, which means at about 4 weeks, we send them a questionnaire and we send you a questionnaire. And so then I look at the results and then have a chat with them, then have a chat with you. Just make sure that things are on the rails and going smooth and going forwardly enough. Okay. And then they're going to monitor and manage volunteer performance. Okay. And normally we know that, the comments are always fantastic. But there's always been, but. We'll talk about those during the week, the things to look out for. Okay. But here's your part of the code of conduct. I'll make every effort to fulfill my commitment. I will abide by the law. I know you will. I will not place myself or others at risk. That doesn't mean we're going to go skydiving this weekend. Who wants to come? I'm driving the plane. It means more like, okay, let's take a weekend trip to Italy. Okay. Have you thought about accommodation? Have you thought about timetable? Have you thought about arrival and transfer from the airport to your final destination? Okay. But you're not looking at some really, really cheap option, which means you get there at 12 o'clock midnight and there's no way of getting any kind of accommodation then. So don't place others at risk. If you're going to make plans to do something, make them together, look at different options and look at different choices and take the decisions together. Okay. I acknowledge my attitude, behavior, and actions may reflect on me and my host placement. Okay. And I think this particularly, particularly is related to social activities, might be related to alcohol, okay, or other stuff, you're all going to be 18. Adults, you can drink at 18 in Spain. However, I say this and I say this again, whether you are at a very religious school or you're any other kind of school, I believe if you're going out with people locally, that's fine. Okay. If you really want to go out and party and get back at 4 o'clock in the morning and sleep in the whole following day, do that on one of the weekends when you're getting together with other volunteers. Okay. And let some steam off, let your hair down and get on with it. Okay. There's one thing that host families don't like. It's not coming home drunk necessarily or it's coming home late. Now, most of the host families have got young children. Okay. So, attitude. Okay. And it may lead to immediate dismissal. I don't think anybody's ever been dismissed from the program. I think people realize, at some point they might say, gosh, I've met some really, really exciting people who have invited me to join a kind of caravan of travelers through the Saharan desert. This is my destiny. I'm leaving the program. Well, I'm not going to dismiss you for that. Of course, that's a life choice. That's something you've got to do. Okay? Okay. There you go. Okay. I'm going to put you together for a few minutes now, okay? Just in a little breakout room. I want you really to think of two things, okay? I'm going to put like 3 rooms. I'm going to get you together. I just want you to discuss this for like 4 or 5 minutes. And basically, there's 2 things, okay? When you get the invite, go into the room and speak, talk amongst yourselves for a few minutes about 2 things. What are the things that you are going to learn whilst you're here? What are you going to learn? And the other thing is, what are the differences you're going to make to other people? Okay, what are you bringing with you? What are the things you're going to help other people understand? Okay, so what are you going to learn? What are the differences? The differences you're going to make to other people, and what are the differences in yourself? What are you bringing? What are you taking from your experience? Let me just see if you can go into the room. Okay, so with Carlos, Lisana, Ash, you're all in different rooms. Let's see if you can go in. All right. Can you join the rooms now, please? You should have an invitation there. And just discuss, please. Just discuss amongst yourselves. I'm going to be listening in to a few. Okay. Oh, sorry, Eddie. I see you're not in the rooms right now. Absolutely fine. Okay, you can come back.
Recording in progress.
Okay, absolutely.
Oh,
You're back. There's Carlos. All right, very much. I'm going to ask you, what do you think about ideas? There's Carlos. Very good. Okay, we'll be using your voice. Absolutely. Future recordings. Thank you. Well done. All right. Okay. You obviously much appreciated that you're all here. Those ideas, I'm going to ask you further on to talk about those. Maybe by Friday we'll have a chance to talk a little bit more. But just so you know, and these are very, very important things. We have what we call our ladder of support, okay, which is very, very important. Okay, and this is like, where do you go with your problem? Where do you go with your problems and challenges? Okay, our ladder of support at the bottom, that is the bit which is closest to you. Okay, that's going to be your fellow volunteers, family, and placement mentor. Okay, so when you've got a small problem like where's the pharmacy, or I'd like to buy some oat milk, or where's the nearest metro station. Those are things that you can ask locally, and you'll get an immediate answer. Okay. Also, things like that you can ask fellow volunteers, which is I can't find a plug or an adapter for my whatever it is you've got, my computer to plug in. Does anybody know what it's called in Spanish? So that kind of thing you can get easy answers to asking fellow volunteers, other people who are next to you, who are near you. All right. If you can't find the answer there with other volunteers, with family, with the placement mentor, you can then ask the placement host. Maybe you're going to go upstairs. So you might be, with a teacher at school, and you're just asking a question. I'd really like to buy some vegan. I'd like to buy some tofu. Where could I buy it? Maybe that person doesn't know. So maybe you have to go upstairs and ask, your supervisor, where's the nearest place to buy tofu? However, if we look at a different sense, if you are having maybe an issue at home and you wanted to ask other volunteers, that's at the bottom rung of our ladder, the children at home keep on coming into my bedroom. Okay. You ask other volunteers, is anybody else having this problem? It turns out everybody's having this problem. Okay, maybe this is something we have to talk about together. You might not want to mention this to the host family because you don't want to offend them. So then you go upstairs and talk to the placement host. So, the person who's responsible for your placement at the school, and explain the problem or this issue you're having at home. And they might say, look, I know the family, you can talk to them perfectly. Or they might say, do you want me to talk to the family? I'm happy to do so. and then you have the choice of what to do. So there are some things which you won't be able to solve at the lower level. If you're then having a problem, let's say, with your placement, because you don't know what you're meant to be doing, you don't know where you're meant to be going, you've had a problem with the family or an issue with the family, and there's been no kind of resolution, then come to me. Okay? Then come to me, and I will try to help you. Right? I will talk to the family. I normally speak to the schools, and the schools speak directly to the family. It's up to the school whether I talk to them or not. All right? So some schools, they don't like me to talk to the family directly. Obviously, if there's an issue which, needs intervention, then obviously I will. Okay. If you lose your passport, if you get lost somewhere, you missed the last train or something, you can always call me for that kind of stuff. Okay. If there's a more serious problem, let's imagine you get into some sort of trouble with the police, then you call me, but then I go upstairs and I tell James, listen, this has happened, what should we do? You're in the wrong place, the wrong time, and you got arrested. Let's imagine you're at a club, there's some kind of drugs raid, you're not taking any drugs, but the people next to you were, and you get kind of pulled up and carted off to the police station. And let us know immediately. I'll talk to James as well. He needs to be involved in this, and then we help you out. And if there's a problem about the placement, about the program, and about me, okay, imagine you've got a problem like, I need to get back to New Zealand, and I say something like, you cannot leave, you must stay for the full 6 or 9 months, I'm not letting you go, then you might want to go upstairs and talk to James, all right? And say, this person, Josh, is being completely unreasonable. So that's our ladder of support. But luckily, most of the support you need will be down here. And I'm happy to say that the fellow volunteers are and will be absolutely fantastic. All right? Why aren't parents at the top of the sorry, why aren't parents at the top of this list, please?
Because they're in a different country.
They're in a different country.
They don't know anything about the company.
Mine don't care.
Oh, well, if they don't care, all right, that's good for you, because you're going to be making some important decisions. However, they are in a different country. They don't understand necessarily how things work here. But probably they can't give you an immediate solution, except if it's money. I need some money. Oh, don't worry, sweetheart, here's 10,000 euros for you. Keep the change. If you're lucky enough, then maybe those sort of things they could help. I don't know. It depends on each kind of family. But very often, one of the problems, if you have a minor, let's imagine that my son is living away from home. He's 18. He's got a rash, some kind of allergy. All right, I don't know. We don't know what it is. Going on for a couple of weeks. Well, is he 18? Go to the doctor, and he's asking us to intervene. I can't intervene. One, I'm not with you. And two, I'm not a doctor, so I can tell you what I would do, which is stop wearing those really, really tight-fitting, fake nylon, Armani or Calvin Klein T-shirts, which you're wearing, so I don't think they're any good for your skin. That's what I would do. And of course, he says, well, it's not that, is it? It must be something else. So I'm going to go to the doctor. All right? Go to the doctor. I can't intervene, except if the doctor says you need a particular kind of treatment, which costs a certain amount of money, yeah, I can intervene now, but not directly. So that's why parents aren't at the top of the list. Okay, tell your parents, but very often when things go the full way round or the wrong way down the ladder instead of up the ladder, the messages get somewhat distorted. Okay? So think about your placement. Whoops, sorry. Okay, I'm going to slap the table. Here we go. Placement at school. You're all going to be at schools. Okay, you're going to be 16, 18 hours a week. You're doing 16 hours a week. Okay, you're doing 16 hours a week, normally between 9 a.m. and 4 a.m. That's Monday to Friday. I'm going to cross this out and tell you that's Monday to Thursday. Okay. Okay. Fridays off. I say some Fridays off. It should be the other way around. Some Fridays on, right? So it might be a special time of year where you have another day off during the week, and therefore they say, please come in on Friday. But that is not on Friday. You're a language assistant. Obviously, you're English, but there are Germans on the program, and you will be placed with Germans, possibly at your school. Okay. It's general supervision as well as being, in the classroom. So you're going to be at school, in class, only 16 hours a week, but you might be there during meal times, during break time. You will be asked to join in with different responsibilities there. You're going to get your host family full board, all right? Except, as you know, if you're boarding school or if you're lucky enough to have the separate accommodation, very few cases, you're going to be September to June. No, I'm sorry about this. You're going to be January to June normally. And then, of course, we've got our summer options. We will talk about those further on. Okay. Your private opportunities, private tuition opportunities, and immersion camps, which are opportunities to earn a bit of pocket money. We will talk about those also further on. Okay? But that is what to expect. Right. Go on. Again, there's some volunteers. There's Segovia, so Stella, very nice, from Canada. And there's a bunch of our volunteers just the year before COVID, and they're mainly from New Zealand, Canada, and Australia. Okay, the whole bunch there. That was in Burgos, beautiful city in the north of Spain, very near where Elias and Carlos are. Beautiful Gothic city, Gothic cathedral. Okay, right. This is where we are, more or less. We've got our clusters. Okay, we've actually got 4 clusters now. One in Valencia, one in the Basque Country, one in Madrid, and one in Castilla and Leon. Okay, so there we go. So more or less, the travel is very, very cheap at the moment in Spain. It's very quick and very safe. So you can get from here to here in 3 hours. That's about 500 kilometers in 3 hours. From here, Madrid, to here, 1 hour, 40 minutes. Here to here, couple of hours. Okay. Flights from the Basque Country to Valencia, it's a 1 hour flight. Cost you anything from €20 to €20 flight from here to there. So you'll all be able to move around and get together. It's going to be really nice for everybody to get down to Valencia. Really, really nice for everybody to get up to Madrid, which you're going to do the first weekend anyway. It'll be really nice for everybody to then get up to the Basque Country. And it'll be really nice for everybody to get up to Salamanca, which is the kind of Oxford or Cambridge of Spain. Absolutely beautiful medieval city. Okay, so that's what the different areas have got. Okay, and remember then, as soon as before you've got your school calendar, so you've got your vacations. If we come here, the last day actually you've got January. Okay, so you'll be starting school on the 20th. I believe the 31st is a holiday. You then work through February and you have this week off, the 17th to the 22nd of March. And then you go into the Easter vacations, and then you have different holidays. Apart from these, there are also local and regional holidays, which you'll find out about exactly when you get to your placement, they'll be able to take. And of course, all your Fridays are off, which means you can make plans to travel. Okay. Things to look out when we're in Spain, different kind of reduced transport cards or schemes or vouchers for young people. At the moment, they're only published up until the 31st of December. We probably won't know until probably like the 29th or 30th of December what the plans are for the following year. Okay, there's been a lot of discount travel. What we will try to do is, or what we've done in the past, as soon as we know what discounts there are for the following year, we will try to enroll you in those discount programs. Okay. Right, keeping in touch, very important. Remember, if you're going to need access to any kind of money, we want you to look out now, find out about your credit card provider. The bank that I'm using is Wise, which works very, very well internationally. Okay, works between Australia, UK, Spain, whatever. I think it's a free service, and I have an account here. Works really well all around the world. Okay, the online system is very easy to navigate as well. So that's what I'm recommending. There are others also. The phones, remember, you're going to want a local phone number. You're going to check out your phone to see if you would have to replace your SIM, how you can maintain your WhatsApp account. I know with Android phones, you can have dual accounts. That means you can have two versions of WhatsApp running on the same phone with two different numbers. You check out with your phone if that's something you can do. Okay, the one that I'm advising or recommending is Lobster, just because it's a one-off inclusive price, gives you everything you need, and all the service and everything is in English, which is really useful if you need any kind of assistance. Okay, and it's really important to have WhatsApp. Okay, really important, because that's what everybody uses. Also for calls and stuff, it uses a minimum amount of data. That's why we recommend. Okay, so I sent you all the code for the first month discount with Lobster. If anybody wants that, let me know, please, and I'll send it again through the WhatsApp. And then we have our arrival, okay, which is 2024. 16th of January, we are expecting you. I will then arrange with the placement when you're going to actually arrive there. In Madrid, Valencia, Castilla, or in the Basque Country. I will arrange the onward travel as well. And then they will give you a written timetable. At home, you should also have a schedule. You know that part of the volunteering arrangement is that you will offer 4 to 5 hours a week, either tuition or helping with homework to the kids at home. So you have to set out, what time will that be and which days, because obviously you want to go to the gym, you want to go to Spanish class, you want to do things yourself, okay? And then set with the family your responsibilities. What do they expect of you? Which would basically be saying, well, I am another adult at home, and therefore I'm going to help out at home. Okay? So offer your help as an adult, not as a child. Which means, don't think I'm doing this, I'm going to get good points. No, I'm doing it because I'm an adult in a family of adults, and the kids are apart. So align with the adults, not with the children. It'll be difficult. Okay. And then obviously we've got our settling in. Okay. So, I mean, we will see videos of ex-volunteers. In fact, you'll speak to ex-volunteers soon. Okay. So from today, there's, I mean, are there any questions? Are there any surprises? Are we looking at anything which was covered? I really didn't expect that. Please ask me your questions or write your questions in the text box.
Hey Josh, it's Elias here.
Hi.
For Carlos and I, we'll be staying at the school. Have we or any of the volunteers been introduced to their host families or to the place where they'll stay?
In what sense?
Like, I'm just curious, like at where I'll be staying, and I couldn't find a lot of photos of the school online or like the accommodation room, for example, that I'll be in. Just curious, like to know what the conditions are gonna look like before I get there.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I'll put you in contact next week. This is my job, okay, to make sure everybody is in contact with their placement and with their host family or with their host. So I'll put you in contact with Monsen, who's the person in charge up there. You know, as regards the school you're going to be at, I can tell you there's a lot of opportunities to interact. Okay. This is what the two guys who just
Yeah.
now this week have told me. A lot of opportunities to interact because there's a lot of young adults also studying at this school, and they're studying sports coaching. Okay, and so they're always doing a lot of stuff like mountain bike, trekking, stuff like this. What they have said to me is to get involved, you have to make sure you're visible. Okay, and that people know that you're interested in joining in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you will be okay. It's comfortable. It's basic, but comfortable. The meals are basic, but plentiful. All right. And yeah, I mean, both the guys there who are much younger have actually had a very good time. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. So that is next week. I'm going to make a note of them. Any other questions arising from today?